You only have to go on LinkedIn for 5 minutes and you will see 10 perfect stories about retrospectives that have gone amazingly, great engagement with stakeholders, wonderful questions to ask that really get to the heart of a problem. How many times have you seen, oh my God, this didn't go well?
Not too much. Not too often.
You don't see it as often.
How often do you post something like that on LinkedIn?
Do you know what? Before I once did this talk, what did I do it? 6 weeks ago, I went and looked, and I've precisely put one post up where things didn't go well. And I have plenty where I said things went well. And it's because we live in that Instagram, that fake world. People don't like to admit when things don't go perfectly. Now, that is a form of lying. You're presenting something to the world that isn't necessarily true. You're trying to show everyone that it's perfect all the time. It's a form of lying. We live in that Instagram world. We want to believe things are better than they really are. And I don't think it's particularly healthy. What do you think?
No, I would agree. It's I think we're being fed with just taking the path of least resistance again. If we don't like it, we just can scroll through Instagram or to LinkedIn or to other places. But it's the same with Netflix, right? If you don't like what you're seeing, there's always something else. And we have to pretend that we live perfect lives, perfect careers. We build the most perfect products. Because what if we do not? It's always the scare of, or the fear of, what if we do not build perfect lives or perfect products? And then we start to pretend, right? And that is the spiral, the negative spiral.
And that's what this talk is all about, that these organizations, whether they mean to do it or whether they don't mean to do it, they are being deceptive to you as employees and to the rest of the world. So we're really sorry to say it, but your organization isn't special. These lies that we're going to go through, and the whole point is for you to potentially maybe go, oh, I've seen that before, I've heard that, I've been there, I've experienced it, I've tried to tackle it. And when I delivered this talk fairly recently, I was expecting maybe one or two of those things to resonate. Honestly, the amount of hands that went up of people almost resonating with all of the 10 that we're going to present to you was absolutely mind-boggling. Organizations are not special. You might be unique in the sense of the products you produce, the people you work with, but actually the problems and the dysfunctions that you're facing are not unique. They are really similar.
How often have you come across organizations that when you start working there, they say, that Scrum thing or that Safe or something else, it doesn't work here. See, because we're special. The fact is, none of them are.
No, none of them are. But they think they are. And that is actually a really big problem. We're not saying here, and actually one of the lies we'll talk about is that Scrum is not a panacea. It's not a solution that's going to solve every single problem. But a lot of people believe that all of this, what's Scrum, 25, 26 years now? Maybe even longer.
Almost 30.
The action, God, 30 years. It's only 4 years younger than I am. That actually this thing, with all of this research that's gone on, that they're better than that. Okay. Now, people and organizations, you know your context better. We're not here to try and tell you that we know better. What we are trying to say is that these commonalities across organizations do exist, and it is not a problem that solely you are facing. But in order to try and give you a bit more context over these lies, Sander's now going to introduce our fictitious organization, Magnum Opus.
And I think we are the living embodiment of the fact that we're not special. He's just shorter than I am, but other than that, we're pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same.
Yes, you're a little bit more ginger. Moving on. Here we've got Magnum Opus, our main characters, and don't be afraid, this is not going to be the core concept of this talk, but I think it's important to note that this is the embodiment, like the whole encapsulation of all these lies, dysfunctions, and anti-patterns that we've come across. So we've got John Ira, the CEO of the company. He's equipping Roy, our product owner, with the glorious task of saving the company from downfall, which happens frequently, right? Someone gets equipped, or some team gets equipped with the burden of saving the product line. Then we've got Jax, the Scrum Master, who means well, who has the idea, who knows his stuff, right? And he wants to try the organization. He wants to run faster than the others can actually keep up with. And then we've got Sabrina, our project manager, who is stuck in legacy rut, who is more scared of this change. And she's more anchoring the legacy behavior rather than going on with change for the better. And again, coincidentally, these are losing it. They may or may not be actual events. They actually are.
I was going to say, you may or they definitely are.
They definitely 100%
Definitely.
are.
Yeah.
So luckily, Bullshit Detector 1 and 2 have come and helped you out.